welcome back to a new Destiny 2 model ripping tutorial, where I will teach you how to rip and set up a Destiny 2 model from the game. Note that this will not get you banned from the game. Now, this tutorial will become obsolete because there are new things coming to the our tools and resources. So in our server owner will be making their own tutorial, so please go and when that releases, when our server owner will be releasing that, so go and check out his channel at Kevin Ayotte whenever it releases, because he will have a tutorial over that. So go and check his channel out. It will not be releasing anytime soon, but join the Discord, which will have a link in the description. So check out the Discord so that you will be kept updated on when that tutorial will come out. So next on the agenda, I will be using the player gear ripping tutorial from the Discord. This exact tutorial from the Discord that will be updated sometime in the future. So join the Discord, keep an eye on that. But I will be, as long as you follow along with it, it will be somewhat true. But there are new things that a few minor things that have changed. So yeah, a few minor things have changed, so I will be adjusting my own workflow for that. So you may notice that I do things a little bit differently from what the tutorial says. That's because I've been doing this for about 3 years now. Well, a little bit over 3 years, so I have experience in this sort of thing. But as long as you follow this, you will know the keybind. As long as you look at this while I go through my own way of doing this, or go through this tutorial, you will know what you need to click and how to click it, as well as there are video examples over how to do each and everything. So let's get started. First, you will need WinRAR or 7-zip. You can just click on this link or search up 7-zip to download the files, download the program. I already have 7-zip installed for me, so I don't need to do that. As well as Blender 3.3. I suggest downloading the latest version of 3.3, either as a MSI or as a zip file. That way, if you have an earlier version, if you have the Steam version of Blender, Steam version of Blender, it can say at that latest version. Well, you can work in 3.3 for the models. And I also suggest getting Blender 3.6 for whenever you download models off the drive. I also suggest downloading the zip file for that of the latest version. That way, so when you download the models off the drive, they will not come broken in 3.3. 4.0 is also broken because they have changed a few other things. So 3.6 is the highest to go. 3.3 is the lowest you should have to go. So next is downloading the Dare tool. So you just click on that, it will automatically start the download. You let it download. Once it's downloaded, open it up. Right click, extract it. Double click. It will take a little bit of time to load in because it is. Click yes. Looks like it's downloaded. I'm going to, yep. Output path is right here. Let me pull up the tutorial in another window. Alright, so once that is downloaded and you have opened it up, next is for you to download the MDE tool. Click on that, it automatically downloads. I already have a version of MDE downloaded, so download MDE, extract it, and then next you need to, and then once you have done that, you'll also need to download the .day importer. Once you have done that, next, okay, yep, all right, boop, 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 boop. Yeah, next you will need to open it up and open up the settings like I've shown before. Click this, leave this unchecked, click here. Now go and navigate to where you downloaded your MDE, where your MDE file folder is, and extract it. Mine is in here. So click the exe, open. Then you find where your Destiny 2 packages are. Because if you want to rip HD textures and shaders, you will need to have the packages. So mine are in my external hard drive. Yours will likely be in your program files, Steam apps, common Destiny 2. For me, it is going to be in my Steam library. QRST, Steam apps, common Destiny 2, packages in each right here, and then select folder. Now once it's all done, you have where it's located, the exe file right here. This exe file, packages, close. Next, select the armor you wish to download. For me, I'm going to select the armor that the armor that I have on my Titan, which will be There you go. I thought I had my. Okay, 1 second. While I pull up a different tab of dim, just reload the entire page. If you have Destiny open, you can just look at your armor through there. There we go. That's better. I think dim is having a bit of trouble. Okay, no, it's not anymore. So my armor is going to be the Biosphere Explorer helm. So Biosphere Explorer helm, click X. Next piece of armor I have is Ashen Wake. Now you may see that some items have like 2 or 3 different versions of it. It does not matter which one you click, they are all the same version of it. They're all the same model. It's only like armor 1.0, armor 2.0, etc. So just click 1. Now X. Now I have the Dark Age chest rig. Chest rig. Again, it does not matter which version you choose. One is likely the master version with the whatever it's called, fancy stuff, with the artifice version of it. Next, I have the Braytech snow boots. Again, it doesn't matter which one you choose. All of the older items will have 2 different versions of it. And then last one I have is the Thunderhead mark. Now, you may be tempted to get a shader for your armor and place it in here as well. Do not do that. It will sometimes break the rip and it will not output anything. Instead, Instead, you rip right now, and then the shader I have for my armor is Warped Rachis. I will wait until this is all says it's all done. Just note that ripping items will take a little bit of time. So just be patient with it. You will see a bunch of text vomit, and once it stops moving entirely, that is when it has ended. Now you see DCG exited with code 0. That means DCG itself has ripped the armor pieces. Now it is MDE's turn to pick up and rip the HD textures. So that means it is not done just yet. Let me just check my output folder. Yep, you can see here it is empty, but everything else has been ripped. Please don't tell me you have errored. There we go. It's now finished. MDX exit code 0, and once it says in golden text all rips done, that means it has ripped everything. So let's go back to the folder I just opened, and you can see everything's there. There I have Destiny Model 0, and I have HD textures. So next, clear queue. I plug in the Warped Rachis and then start ripping again. That way their shader's ripped. Now you can minimize this, and open up Blender 3.3. A delete. Where is my? That's not the one. Okay. Next, you will need to download the add-on. Go to Preferences, Add-ons, and then Install. Go to wherever you downloaded the add-on. Click it, Install. I don't remember the actual name of it. Let me just go to imp. It should automatically have the name of it. There we go. Here it is. Collada with custom normals. Make sure it is enabled, and then click Save Preferences. Close it. File. Import. Collada with normals.day. Now navigate to where it outputted. So my output is going to be here. Double click. Collada with normals. Click this X to delete, and there is your armor. There's going to be both female and male. So what you would need to do is delete whichever one you do not want. What I don't want is the female because my character is a male. So I will select all of it. Just click here, Shift, then select this one down here, and then hit X, delete. I'll delete all of it, all that you want. Next, you need to click on a chest piece, on a random piece of armor. A, tab, A again, mesh, delete. Actually, no, wait. Yeah, it is clean up, actually, sorry. Go over to mesh, clean up, delete, loose. See here, it removed 52,000 vertices, nearly 53,000. Tab again, deselect it all by selecting something else. Now I'm going to start with the top over here. Now you can either do this to open up a new side window, or you can right click, vertical split, and click. It does not matter. Next, you need to go to the shader editor. So now click N to hide that. File, append. Now, there will be a, actually no wait, not just yet, because there is a few more things that need to be done, because I do things completely differently. So once you have deleted the loose, you just need to do the cloth physics, which means since my armor has very little of it, I can easily tell what I do not need. Some usually, but usually I can just go in here, go into edit mode on one of these, and let's see how I'm looking down the very bottom. Verts 53 out of 53, tab A 55 out of 55, which means this one is the one I do not want. So X delete, it's deleted. Some armor, some cloth will have multiple parts, which means you will need to do what this tutorial shows. As you can see here, I don't do that. I just do what I need to do half the time. Let's do what I just showed you. There you go. It's joined. And then after that, you need to merge it together in the edit A. Merge by distance. And this merge together. That's what you do for everything else, as shown in the tutorial. But since mine is, since my cloth is so very small, I don't need to do that. So it's usually just very case by case. So if you have big bulky cloth like hunter cloaks or warlock robes, you'll need to do that. But some marks have barely anything, so if it has nothing, then you don't need to do it. I know there is the one warlock robes where it's the NPA weir NPA armor for a warlock that it has the tubes. So for that, you don't need to do that. I do not believe, since it's different. But next, once we have done that, we'll need to download the D2 player skeleton blend. So once you have download that. I already have my own downloaded, so I just go to File, Append, go to wherever you downloaded it. So D2 player skeleton collection. Now, here's where it differs. So if you are going to use the armor in Blender, you will need to choose either of these two IK armor collections. If you're using a feminine character, choose this one. If you're using masculine, choose this one. But if you're going to Unity, VRChat, or any other program besides Blender, choose the FK, Fem, or Mask. This is very important. Otherwise, if you choose the IK, things will break in the other programs. So make sure to use the FK skeleton. But since I'm not doing that, I'm going to choose the IK masculine, append, and you'll see this appear, as well as these destiny bones. So what you'll need to do is just select these, or select it like that, X, delete, done. But I usually just like to create a new collection, name it useless, select these, and then just drag and drop them into there, and then just hide them. That way, because whenever it gets imported, you'll have to do that every single time. But if you just put in useless thing like that, you don't have to do that. You don't have to delete it every time. It'll stay there and it'll just be ignorable. So next, what you'll need to do is click on that, click A, by making sure that you have nothing else in the scene other than armor. If you do have stuff other than the armor in your scene, just do this. Just select everything. Make sure you select everything, but also make sure that the skeleton is the primary selection, which is the more yellow color rather than the reddish orange. So next you'll just Control P and then armature deform, or right click, armature deform, parent, armature deform, multiple ways. Control P is the keybind. So once that's done, it will be bound to the armature, as you can see here. So you no longer have to do anything with that at all. So next, you'll need to download the materials, which is from the Judd Subs Git Gumroad. And you can just select the latest version, which is 3.1.1, and then you can put any price in here, or I can just put 0. It does not matter. If you want to pay Judd for his, if you just want to pay Judd for being able to do that, you can do it. If you don't want to, you don't have to. So click I want this, type in your email address, they'll get it to you. So I'm going to do that real quick. Click get, and then click download. Now my shader file is in a completely different folder, so let me just go to where I suggest putting your shaders in a place where stuff is like kept easily. So once you have that downloaded and put into a shader folder, next file, append, shaders, 3.1.1, material, D2, append. The next, we do what I said to do earlier, which is just do this, just click up here and just drag, or right click vertical and split. This shader editor N, just to hide it away. Now I'm going to choose the first bit of the Ashen Wake, and now it's applied to one piece of the armor. It may lag out a bit, that's just because it's loading everything in. So what I'm going to do next is duplicate once, duplicate twice, duplicate 3, 4. This is actually 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what I'm going to do now is like the first one and rename it to ISH Ashen Wake. And then now, click on this, Shift, Control L, link materials. That way you don't have to go click, 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 click. You can just select, Shift select, Control L, materials, and it's all connected. I only suggest doing this for the armor that is connected to each other, meaning Ashen Wake, Dark Ace chest rig, Thunderhead mark, etc. If it has multiple materials on one piece of armor, you will need to do it individually, like I said. But next is when we start applying textures. So go back to where you're downloaded it. It should be in recent since you imported the .day file. HD textures. Since mine is mask, I can go in mask, but it should not have a difference in the HD textures. Double click, open, double click, open, double click. Now this part is very, very important. switch this to non-color and switch this to non-color. Very important. Now for the Biosphere Explorer helm, we do the exact same thing again. Boop. 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 And then, since this is a item that is from after Beyond Light, it will come with a dye map, which you will also need to set to non-color. You can also see at the very top of these texture nodes, set this to non-color, set this to non-color, set this to non-color, set this to sRGB, which is should be set to automatically. So if you ever forget or misremember, you can always just look at the top of the nodes. So you just do this for each and every piece. So now, in the sped up version of this, you may have seen me doing this. This is I'm holding Control and using the scroll wheel to switch the color space instead of clicking and selecting. I find it easier to do that, but since you're beginners, I suggest not doing that, but it's simpler and easier for me to do that. I'm just scroll wheeling up to go to non-color. Since sRGB 1, 2, which means it corresponds to 1, 2 scroll wheel ups. So once the armor has all been selected and done, we will go in to material preview mode. As you can see, it all looks nice and pretty. However, it's in the primary colors: RGB, light blue, which is a problem if you're wanting to have your own custom shaders or your own colorful, nice colors on it. So normally what you would do if you just want the regular armor shaders on it, you go to here, let's say basic snow boots. Click the plus button, go over here, click N, go over D2 shader right here, generate shader. And it automatically fills it in and it's on the model. Normally we'd have to just automatically select it to where switch it over using this, but using a funnel script, it automatically switches to what it needs to be. So, but you probably don't want the shaders for the armor shaders. Instead, you will have to go up several levels to Destiny Model 0 to where your dare output is. Next, you'll go into your next Destiny Model 1, shaders, blender, and then warped Rackus armor. Text, play, layout, and again, warped Rackus armor, generate shader. then it's generated. You can select it, get on the armor. Note that from the tutorial, it sounds like you will have to automatically change it out, click the button every time you want to do this, but no, you do not have to do that at all. You just need to click it once, generate shader once, and then just select it from here. You just select it from the drop down when you want it, and there you go. You have your character ready to go, all nice and shadered up. Now this shader looks darker than in game than what I remember it to be, but Now some of your armor may have special effects like glows and etc. and much other things, and that can be fixed by typing in I'm gonna go into spam, question mark WBS into the spam. I'll bring up this tutorial right here. It'll bring up this command. You can click on this tutorial, which will bring you to the Warlock Bond Shader tutorial in Blender Help, which you can follow to learn how to apply all this to special effects like solstice glows, lay glows for things, etc. For anything that glows, it's basically just use the Warlock Bond Shader, which is also known as the Destiny 2 emission shader. But other than that, your model is done and ready to be used. Also, there are tutorials in the pins of Blender Help, which you can use to use IK rig, how to move it around, etc. Like how I was doing it. Earlier, like this. This teaches you how to do it. This one teaches you how to do cloth simulations for this one, for example, if these things weren't all automatically transparent, we'd have to change it to where it would be transparent, but thankfully they are transparent. This is for if you can download a armor off the drive, you can combine armor from what you ripped and what you got off the drive to join them together inside of Blender. And for the baking tutorial is for whenever you go to other programs like Unity, Maya, Unreal, etc. But I have another different tutorial over how to do that for set up the Destiny models for Unity if you want to take your models to Unity. So that is pretty much all that I believe I need to cover. So yeah, once again, as I reiterate from the beginning of the tutorial, the Judd sub will be creating his own tutorial. You can find him on YouTube, the Judd sub. Find it from Kevin Ayotte, and in his videos he will have the video there, and also as well as join the Discord so that you can get help in the Blender Help channels, as well as find the tutorial that I was following in here, as well as several other tutorials. So thank you for watching the video. I know it is a bit long. It is 36 minutes, half an hour. Thank you for sticking with me. And actually, it's not 36. I'll be cutting it down. Anyway, farewell, and thank you for watching.